Today, I'm ranking the top meta ads YouTube channels from S tier to F tier. But here's the thing, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Some of these people are my friends, some of them I've done podcasts with. I'm biased and I'm not going to pretend I'm not. This is my personal opinion based on what I've learned, who I've worked with, and whose advice actually works when you're managing real ad accounts. Let's get into it. Konstantinos Dulgeridis. Konstantinos is actually a really good friend of mine, so I'm super biased. I couldn't actually be unbiased, so I'm not going to tell you that I'm not biased. Anyway, I'm watching his content, I'm inside his inner circle with other media buyers as well. I've learned a lot from him, not just by watching his videos, but actually consulting with him. So I think he's amazing. Here's the thing that separates him from almost everyone on this list. He's actually managing ad accounts. He's putting the campaigns in, he's changing things, he's getting feedback from the data. I know from being in his inner circle, he's actually managing the ad accounts that he's mentioning in his videos. And to be honest, I don't think anybody else in this list actually does it. The only reason he could not be in S tier is that he's not actually talking about creatives, which is a big factor in meta ads. I'm biased. I'm going to put him in B because he's my friend and he's actually managing the ad accounts. So it's an S for me. Now, Nick Theriot. We've actually done a podcast with him, so I've met him personally through Zoom. We talked for an hour. I really liked his story. He's super inspiring. His videos are very educational. He talks a lot about creatives. However, unlike Dulgeridis, he's not managing directly all the campaigns. And also, he's not very specific with the creatives that work. Overall, his content is solid. You're definitely going to learn a lot from him. He's a good guy. And also, as an agency, I don't have personal experience working with them, but I've heard some good things overall. He has this strategy with running flexible ads, having everything with flexible, that you cannot see actually what is working, so it's a massive problem. But yeah, overall, solid advice. You cannot go wrong with him. I'm just going to put him in B category for the reason that I mentioned, but he's amazing. Professor Charlie T. I have watched some of his videos and I think he's insightful. He definitely knows what he's doing. I do think that he's probably doing a good job with his clients that he's managing. I do learn a lot from him, to be honest. But for example, an issue that he has is having a 40-minute video about catalog ads. They're not that deep. How is it possible to do a 40-minute video about catalog ads? Another thing is the strategy with the one campaign. I do use that strategy, to be honest with you. I use one campaign, but for smaller ad accounts that are just starting out, when they spend like $500 per day or $1,000 per day, one campaign actually is great. I tend to use ABO for those ad accounts because they don't have a huge amount of creatives, so we need to test regularly everything to find the market fit. And we do actually scale this one campaign quite well. So in theory, one campaign setup is something that I do use, but for bigger ad accounts, that's an issue because he's presenting the one campaign method like a pill that solves everything, which is not the case. For example, Dulgeridis is managing $10,000 per day ad accounts. You cannot do one campaign for that. This is crazy. If this campaign stops working, there is gonna be an issue. And also, if you have a lot of creatives, you are going to have a lot of creatives that are not going to get spent with just using one campaign. And businesses are not that simple. Many of them have different goals, so having one campaign, I don't think that's going to work. Also, there is another aspect to it. When you're entering an ad account that is already spending millions per month on ads, what are you going to do? Are you going to close the campaigns that are performing? It's going to be a side inside the ad account. So yes, if we start a fresh ad account, we can in theory have everything in one campaign, but still, it's going to be very hard. I don't think that it makes a ton of sense, this one campaign thing. I think that this strategy is actually for selling purposes, so I'm going to put him in C. Given that, I do think that he does know what he's doing. He's had massive success with his channel and with the clients that he has. He's a solid guy. You should definitely go and check him out. Now, Michael. Michael is also my friend. He's a part of the inner circle by Dulgeridis as well. He's a really good guy and really good with ads. His channel is new, so I want to react to it because he's really good with ads overall and scaling ad accounts. I have watched many of his videos. I really like the fact that he's also talking about copywriting as well, with something that it is very important with meta ads. He doesn't just talk about meta ads because his channel is new. I could in theory put him in B, and he also doesn't talk about creatives a lot, which is something that it is very important with ads, especially for beginners. It is 60 to 70% of the results are coming from the creatives, but he does copywriting. He talks about copywriting a lot, and he's my friend, so I'm going to put him in B. Now, Ben Heath. Ben Heath is the OG. He has the biggest following out of all these guys. Basically, he talks a lot about meta ads. He was amongst the first ones who actually talked about meta ads on YouTube. and he has videos about beginners and he's really good at educating them. I really like his tone, the way he talks, he's amazing. I really like his videos a lot. He knows how to explain things. His advice sometimes can be a little bit generic, but because he's among the top ones, I'm going to put him in S. Sampillero. I've actually done podcasts with him. He's really good with ads. I couldn't put him in S because the swim lane theory that he has, it's not something that I entirely agree with. Overall, as a strategy with the ads, some of the ad accounts that he has, it can work, but reshaping the whole ad account to that model, I'm not sure that's going to be a beneficial thing to do. He's posting a lot though, he's consistent, he's putting a lot of value out there, and he's talking about creatives as well and AI. So his content is top notch. The only reason that I'm not putting him in the S tier is because of the swim lane theory. I don't think that I honestly agree with, so it's an A for me. Alex Cooper is amazing with creatives. He's really insightful. He has said a lot of things about creative strategy. He used to actually be like my go-to be honest with you, in the beginning, because he used to actually talk a lot about creatives and I learned a lot from him. But he doesn't talk at all about the structure of the ads. Very, very rarely, if ever. He doesn't explain the metrics and the business decisions, which is something that is very, very crucial. And also, he doesn't put out a lot of content nowadays. Like the last video that he has is 4 months ago. So I'm going to put him in C, just so if he's ever going to watch this video, to pump out more new information, because he needs to be more consistent. I do think that he's given a lot of content, a lot of things out there. So yeah, he has a lot more to say. I'm actually sad about the fact that he stopped uploading 4 months ago. Now, Dara. Dara is amazing. She's very likable as a person, which is great because you actually want to watch her videos. I really like her American accent. I'm actually trying to emulate her American accent because it's super American. I want eventually at some point sound really American. I'm Greek, if you didn't notice. Anyway, she's great. I love her content. The creatives are on point. She knows about big brands. She knows about storytelling, about creatives, about convincing people to buy, and in an ethical way. She doesn't have that dropshipping vibe. Let's make a quick buck. She's a big brand advisor, and this energy is really good and gives you the right signals. The reason she's not perfect is that she doesn't talk a lot about strategy and meta ad structure. Because I really like her, I'm going to put her in S, and I'm biased again. That's about it. I've left some guys out like Chase Chappell or Justin Lalonde, if I pronounce it correctly, but I haven't watched a ton of their content, so I have so little time to spend on watching different videos, so I cannot share my thoughts if I haven't seen enough of their content. So this is my list. I hope you like it overall. Hope you found this video helpful. I hope one day I'm going to become an S tier at some point. I'm definitely going to. It's just a matter of time. I'm working right now on that. If you agree or disagree, leave a comment and let's have a discussion about it in the comments. What do you think? Am I wrong? Because these are my personal thoughts, so I tend to answer everything. Thank you very much for watching.